Hey guys, this is part 2 of a 2-part series. In this part, I replace my brakes, I do all the grinding, and I get the whole thing put together. If this is helpful to you in any way, shape, or form, I appreciate a like or subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alright, so I dropped the caliper. We got a little bit more room. Now this guy right here is definitely hitting right now, but it's hard to see. Once I take this bolt off, this should roll down, like this should swing down, and that shorty link, this right here. Now this is something I got in the mail. I don't think I showed this yet. I didn't know I was going to get all this stuff, like true story. But all this came, and this short link right there replaces this link right here. And so anyway, this bar should roll down, and I'll have a short link here. That'll get it out of the way, and I'll be able to put the rim over here. You know, so last night I worked on dropping the bolt back there for this bar, which is what that replaces, the toe link. Man, I hurt my elbow trying to get that bolt off, but I don't have the bolt out, but I have the nut off that bolt. So right now I need to remove that bolt, which I found to be extremely difficult. I'm gonna drop this one right now and see if that helps me be able to get that off. So I'm gonna work on that. But I did try to put the rim over this, and it seems like everything, even this, I feel like I can get it around this, although I watched other videos and they had to grind around this to be able to get the rim over, but that doesn't seem to be an issue. And I also watched a video and they had to grind this, but we might have a little bit more room with this kit that we bought, because this piece here goes over here. And it looks to be a little smaller than that. So it might give us a little bit extra room. I think it goes this way, actually. I think it's going to give us a little bit extra room compared to the stock one. You can kind of see it's not as big. So that might prevent us from needing to grind. It also looks like the bolt goes in there. I mean, this kit is pretty good compared to what the kit was that I watched online. It seems like it prevents a lot of needing to grind. But this one down here, we might have to grind that a little bit. We'll see though. Alright, so when we're in week 2, right now, the goal is to remove this bolt right here. Or no, I'm sorry. This bolt, it's basically impossible to remove. Almost impossible. Both sides have a press washer that goes through. Now on this side, this is the side I removed the bolt on. You can see there's this washer. It won't come off. It's like impossible to take off. You might be able to get a crowbar down there and pry it out, but dear Lord Jesus, I tried. When I do the other side, I'm gonna go get another crowbar that's smaller that I might be able to get in there, because I'm in a pretty tight area. But the strategy I have for this, let me get my light. I've been cutting into it. You could probably see in there a little bit. I'm about 25% through, maybe 30%. What I'm doing is taking a hacksaw and putting it on it, and then hitting this side with an impact and spinning it. And I've been able to cut through a little bit of it. This is the only way I can find to take this off. This is by far the hardest bolt I've ever removed in my life. I've tried everything. I tried prying that thing out. I tried everything. This is the only way I can get it out. Like I said, you might be able to pry that out, but look how tight that washer is on there. I thought it was welded to the bolt. I'm not even lying. But it's not. It is pressed, but it's almost impossible to take off. So right now I'm going to continue using my hacksaw and impact method, and I'm going to try to cut this off, but I just want to let you know this is an absolute nightmare. I took the other side of it off, as you can see right there, no problem. But this one is bound. I mean, they do not want you taking this bolt off. The kit I have came with new hardware, so that's not a problem, but dear God, Dodge wants to kill us. And by the way, I wanted to say I bought an angle grinder, but it's too tight to fit in there, and I was like, oh, well, if that doesn't work, I'll get a Sawzall. Look how big the fucking DeWalt Sawzall is. There's no way I'm gonna get that down there, so yeah, that's not gonna work. And the only option is this little hacksaw. It's like it's under the car right now, but it's just a handle with a hacksaw blade at the end. It's not a normal like round hacksaw. Keep that in mind. It's a tight area. There you go, I got that motherfucker cut off. It only took me a week of figuring out how to do it, but I was working most of that week, but yeah. You can see I held that hacksaw on there down below, and I hit it with the nut rotor on this side, and it just kind of grinded it off till it was gone. We got that arm off though. We got the bolt out. So, and the bolt flew right out. I didn't have to use any force to take it out. So there you go. So anyways, we got it off. This is my fuel line right here. You gotta be careful with that. We gotta watch that when we drop this bar here. This is hanging. We gotta get these clips off. I don't know how to take it off though. It looks like it unlatches on this side. Yeah. I think we need a screwdriver to remove this stuff. It comes off there. This is some kind of locking latch. Yeah, you gotta pull it this way and pop it out. Okay. Holy shit. We got that off. They're not too specific on lefts and rights here. I mean, is it possible to fuck this up? Well, it goes this way. I guess the one with the bolts out goes on this side. I guess that makes sense. So this goes like this. That connects right there. I feel like it'd be easier if we dropped the other bolt. If we drop this right here to make this loose to fit it. I think I'm gonna do that now. So in case anybody's wondering, I'm on the opposite side now. This is the sway bar. I did not realize that. I'm like losing my mind. I'm like, why won't this bar turn? I released this on the other side and it wouldn't move. You have to release it on both sides to get this to have any like ability to like move, basically. So keep that in mind. You won't be able to put these toe links on until you release this. So I dropped it on this side and now it's moving freely. But that's important information to know when doing this. I wanted to see if my new rims will fit. So with this lowered all the way. Now keep in mind I gotta jack this up still, but It still won't fit on. I think I'm gonna need spacers, and that was a concern I had early on. But it's hitting this bar. I think we're gonna need a spacer. Probably an inch at least to feel safe. But when we jack it up, we might clear this. I'm not sure, so let's do that next. Let's see where we are in space. Okay, so this is where we're at. We got this on here. This is how this goes. I attached that bar back there. It was no problem once I cut the bolt off. It went right through. There's lock washers on the side. You can kind of see them there. It's the same on the other side. The way this works is you put thread lock around this bolt and then drive it into the arm and torque it down. So we're going to do that now. Alright, so we got this going here. Got most of it on. Now one issue I see here is that this brake line here is going to get ripped in half. It's outside the threshold. And I'm fairly confident that that's going to get taken off. So what we're going to do, I'm going to mount this like this. I think it'll hold it out of the way if we do it like that. But it'll definitely rub if we leave it the way it is. And I'm not even sure, even if we, I think if we tuck it like that, we zip it over there, we'll get it out of the way. But having it down there is asking for trouble. But if we put it up here, let's stick it like that. I'm going to take that zip tie off. Put it like that. And we're going to have to zip it. I'm going to have to do this on the other side too. And after I do this, I'm going to show you guys some complications I had with the other side. Hopefully I can help somebody. See, I think if it's like that, it'll be safe. I'm not sure if it's gonna, the zip tie's gonna get damaged. Alright, so now I got the front springs and shocks in. I still don't have my rear brakes on, but I do have my e-brake. That's functional. Car's not going anywhere. Yeah, see, it's locked in. We're going to test the height because right now the brackets they sold me are for an RT, and I didn't know I had SRT brakes. I had the lower setup from this car. I have the 4 pistons. Here's the bracket. This is for an RT. I contacted TCE and they said they'd send them to me if the distributor doesn't send them to me, or the people I bought it from. So I gotta wait on that, probably at least a week. But since I put the springs and shocks in on both sides, I take this time to adjust the level, which is probably gonna take me a very long time. I mean, I can already tell this is gonna be a pain in the ass, especially the ones in the back. I'm gonna like cross my fingers and pray they're just miraculously at the right height. You know what I mean? And I want it to be kind of high. I don't want them low anymore, but we'll see where they lay. I don't know. The fronts, I tried to match the 2 sides up and I put it next to the old shocks, but The fronts are a lot easier to fix. I just got to take the wheel off every time I adjust them, which is a pain in the ass, but let's see where they lie. I'm going to drop the jack right now. Put the camera right there. And I'm going to use these rubber bumpers too to stop the car from rolling, just in case. I don't think we're on a flat surface too. I don't think it's going anywhere. I checked it with a level. I'm just joking it in, but. Not sure if I dropped the whole side of the car at once. I gotta go slow because if the height is just way off, I could rip my fender apart. I want to believe that that's not even possible, but oh my god, the car's oh my god, it's so high on the other side. God, that's sketch, dude. The whole car is sideways. I don't like these jack stands because they're so high off the ground. I'm gonna move the camera to the other side. The height looks okay, but two jacks. Well, we didn't send the rim through the fucking fender, so that's positive. But this is low as fuck, dude. I could never drive this car like this. I mean, it's okay, but the other side's about the same. I want it a lot higher. I don't care about being low to the ground and all that bullshit. The camber looks fucked right now too, but it's inside the fender at least. I didn't set these hard. Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just like way too low in the front. The back looks pretty solid. We could go higher, but I think I have it set almost to the highest, which I'm okay with. I think when we put the drag slicks in there, they're a bigger tire. I think it's gonna be a good height, but we need to raise the front for sure and get it where it needs to be. And we need to get the brakes on there. I don't even have brakes in the back right now. The system's open to atmosphere, so basically if I hit the brakes right now, they won't do shit, even in the front. So what do you think, Lula? Yeah, she doesn't care. Yeah, we gotta raise it up in the front for sure, but that'll be our next job, you know, while we wait for those brake brackets. And really, we're pretty close to being done with this whole job. We just got to get the height in the front fixed. We got to get the brakes put on, which is kind of a job, but I don't think it's that bad. You just put the brake lines on and you put the calipers on, then you got to bleed the brakes. That's not a big deal. And then I got to get the alignment and all that done. But after that, we should be pretty square. These rims, by the way, are so heavy compared to the backs. I might put these back ones in the front once we get the 15s on there. What's up, guys? So a week has elapsed. I had to work 12-hour shifts all week. So I got the correct brake brackets here. We're gonna end up putting those on, but first I'm gonna go and I'm gonna raise my car back up in the front and try to adjust the fronts. They're tucking right now. I can barely get the jack under it. So let's raise those up about an inch. I would say at least, maybe like a ½ inch. We should be safe. I'm gonna eyeball it. And from there, after that, we'll check these brake brackets, make sure they fit. And then I need to grind out the old sway bar end link mounts to fit the wheels on. So that's what we're gonna try to do today. So let's get started. It's clear now, and it seats on the wheel or on the hub properly. You can see that's clear. Even if I try to twist it, it rubs like that, but when it's flat on there, it'll fit now. All right, so here's our current status. We got the brake on. We mounted it on here. That was no problem. I saw some people had issues with this bracket and the brake getting on it. That was not an issue for me. We basically tightened it down. We attached the inlet for the caliper, and I bled the brakes. I didn't record doing that, but basically my buddy got in the car and pumped the brakes, and I kept cracking this seal. I'd open and close it over and over until we saw it bleed out, and that worked well. They engaged, so we're good there. One thing I gotta do is cut these zip ties. They're too tight. One thing to mention is you gotta make sure that this line right here is not touching the hub. It's clear here. The brake line is going up here. It came with brackets. These brackets won't fit though. Like, they're not even close. Maybe if you like did it like this or something, but even then, I don't think that that's how they're supposed to be. This line won't even flex that far. They're supposed to be like this, and it's not even close. So we didn't use that. I might be able to bend it. I'll try to do that at work, but I don't see it happening. The next thing I need to do is get the wheels put on. The valve stems that I bought from American Muscle did not fit. They were like the TMPS sensors that pop through. I bought a special tool and everything, and I ended up, they just didn't work. So I have new valve stems coming in, non-TMPS valve stems. Here's a shot of them. I got them on. The fitment is a little tight. I have a 1-inch spacer on, and you can tell it looks kind of goofy because it's sticking outside the car. I have a 1/2-inch spacer coming in. It should pull it in, a little bit. And this lip should be past the fender. It'll look a lot better, and I think it'll be a little safer if I hit a bump. So we're waiting for that. Right now, I'm gonna jack the car up and verify the torque on all the bolts because I just don't want any surprises down the road. So we're gonna just go lift it up, check it before I get it aligned. So I took the car for a ride, the first real drive, and everything's on, everything's mounted. I had a grinding noise, and I did a little bit of research, and I found that this plate right here, which is the guard for the rotor, it was rubbing against the rotor, making a shit ton of noise, so I bent it back with some vice grips, so we should be good now. But I'm gonna take it for another ride. I don't know when the last time I recorded was, but we had 1-inch spacers on it, and I got these 12mm spacers. They gave us the proper gap for the tire. And now it kind of tucks under the fender a little bit. I'll show you guys once I put the wheel on. Alright, so this is the final result in the back. I took the letters off with some brake cleaner. This side looks kind of white, like the tire does. But on this side, I think it's just the light hitting it right there. Yeah, it looks okay. One issue I ran into, after I put them on, I took it for a ride, and the guard on the rotor was rubbing against the new rotor, and I had to bend it back a little bit, and it was only on the right side, so that's that. But other than that, they're hooking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. Alright, so I'm kind of in the middle of doing some final touches on this. Earlier, I took it for a test drive, and my front left was popping, and I did some research, and people were saying that it's because you don't tighten down your spring enough on the coilover, so it was kind of loose, so I raised it up and tightened it up. Now I want to show you what I'm doing over here. Now my fear here is, this is my fuel line right here, unfortunately. This is where they ran it. It's like touching my axle right now, and it's like hanging right here, and I don't like that. And in general, I don't like that it can rub against stuff and wear down and break. So what I did is I bought some of this. It's like a braided like protector, and I'm gonna put this around the fuel line in hopes to protect it a little bit. So I'm gonna do that now, and hopefully we can get this going a little bit better. But in general, I wanted to check everything in here, make sure it's not loose or anything, and make sure it's protected. So I'm gonna do that now. I work in a factory, and I've seen where rubber rubs against metal over time and it just destroys it, and I feel like this is gonna be the same thing. So that's why I did this, because it's not a good idea. At least this gives me a little bit of peace of mind. What's up, guys? This concludes part 2 of the series. I hope you liked the video. If you like the content, be sure to like and subscribe. After I completed this video, I had to go get the car aligned and all that done. Thanks for watching. See you later.